Hello. In this video, I'll show you how to create a geofence. As you can see, I'm already logged into the map and we're tracking a number of devices here in the St. Louis area. I'd like to add a geofence so I can receive a notification when a vehicle arrives at a location. The first point before we even open the geofences window is to point out that you should zoom in to the map at a pretty high level. If we were to create a geofence while we were out here, the pointer probably covers about a 3-city block area, so there's no real telling where the geofence would show up. On the other hand, if I zoom in very close, I'll create a geofence around our local grocery store, assuming I can find it. There's Woodson, there's the grocery store. This is it right here. Now I'll open the geofences window. You can see I already have a geofence set there. I click Add New. Now when I move the cursor over the map, the cursor shows up as crosshairs. I just click the map where I'd like the geofence to be centered. Let's give the geofence a name. I'll call this one Grocery Store 2 because I already have one. We're going to decide whether it's an arriving or departing geofence. What will happen when we create the geofence is we'll create a circle around this location. And a geofence will fire on an arriving geofence. The alert will fire when a vehicle moves from outside the circle to inside the circle. On a departing geofence, the vehicle has to start from inside the circle and then move to outside the circle. I think it makes sense when you think about it. We'll have this as an arriving geofence so that we can tell when somebody arrives at the grocery store. Now, I'll apply this to a single vehicle. I can apply it to multiple vehicles by holding down the Control or Command key, depending on whether you're using Windows or Macintosh, and just clicking entry after entry. In this case, I'll apply the geofence to Fleet 594. Now I'll select the effective dates for the geofence. By default, you can see that it picks up 30 days, a full month. I don't want this geofence to continue to fire for 30 days, so I'll pick February 13th as the end date. Now for the radius. It's a good idea to keep the radius fairly large. I'll move this down to 100 meters. Be careful when you create a small geofence that you know you have the geofence accurately placed. Our devices, no device can report continuously its exact position. There's always going to be a distance between reports or an amount of time between reports. Otherwise, your data bill would be infinite. So the breadcrumb trail that the devices report to our server is not, it's very detailed, but it's not complete. In this case, I'll put 100 meters in. The max speed. The reason we have the max speed there is, this is a good example, in fact. This geofence is located right off a major road here in St. Louis called Page Avenue. We drive down Page Avenue all the time. If I'm driving down Page Avenue at 45 miles an hour, I really don't want this geofence to fire. I would like this geofence to fire when somebody actually pulls into the grocery store at a low rate of speed and stops. So in this case, I'll select a speed of 10 miles an hour. That way, if I'm whipping by at high speed, the geofence will not fire. Repeat. This box tells me whether the geofence will only fire once and then go away, or whether over this time period, from the 6th to the 13th, it will fire every single time somebody arrives at that geofence. We'll leave it as continuous. And finally, I'll make up an email address here. You need to enter an email that will receive the alert. I'll enter that email. I'll click Save, and lo and behold, there's the geofence. Let's make that go away. Actually, let's turn this back to auto. Now, if we'd like to see the geofence on the map, we just click Show. It'll actually plot the circle, the effective radius of the geofence on the map for you. That's about it. Thanks for watching.